Have you ever had an epiphany while on vacation? What about seizing the opportunity to do something you wouldn't normally do while away from your usual environment? Believe it or not, learning something about yourself is the start of a new, devoted understanding of oneself. These memorable journeys invites you to love yourself more and see yourself in a different but better way. How a person comes to love themselves starts first with them learning themselves. Hi, my name is Alita Shepherd, and as a little girl, I did not know myself, nor did I like myself. I was always idolizing others, even loving them more than I loved myself, until I took a journey back to me. It all started around the age of 25. I just finished surgery and I was laying in the hospital bed, wondering, thinking about my life. And I asked God, why am I here? I didn't like what I saw, what I was thinking. I didn't like my life. I didn't like me. And I asked God, why am I here? What is my purpose? And He showed me. And at that moment, when He showed me, or He told me, my next question, I asked another question. My next question was, how do I get there? How do I get to that person that you see me as? I don't see me as that person, but you see me as that person. How do I get there? Because I'm ready. I'm ready to be that person you see me as, or that person you want me to be. So, after having the laying there and having a talk with God and praying, from that point on, different events were occurring in my life. Several different events that either showed me who I was, or reminded me who and what I was or am, not was, not past tense, but who I am. These memories, some of the reminders and memories were conversations I've had or with other people or actions that has taken place, like me speaking up or speaking out, standing up or standing out for myself or someone else. Um, these things, I can remember a conversation happening between myself as an 8-year old and a teenager that was around 15 or 16 years old. And as this little 8-year old girl, this teenager had come to me to talk to me about a particular subject that me being 8 years old, I wouldn't think I knew anything about. But she came to me and she talked to me, and I can remember vividly the conversation and how I was talking to her strongly about how I felt about the situation that she had brought to my attention. And I can remember speaking to her and motivating her and trying to encourage her to what I thought to do, what I thought at the time was the correct thing to do. And that memory alone, being embedded in my head, it stuck with me. That memory alone was one of those things that God reminded me and He showed me. And I see it as He was showing me my strengths. He was showing me, He also has shown me some of my weaknesses. And as uh, during the next 13 years or so, I traveled away from the norm, what I thought was the normal, um, at least what I thought was the normal. And then as I traveled away, I left my hometown and I moved away into a whole new environment. And it wasn't the environment, it was just me starting to be in that new environment. I started to feel more comfortable with who I was. Things that I like to do that I normally wouldn't do or normally didn't do, I started to do. I didn't. question myself about wanting to do something as simple as um, playing tennis. I love to play tennis. I love to swim. I mean, being in the South, of course, it's not as cold as it is up north, but swimming is this big thing for me now. I love to swim. I would swim in the summer, I would swim in the winter time. I don't care how cold it is outside. I'd find an inside pool and I would go and I would do some laps. But these things, I started to experience the eye opening, exciting reality of my life. My life. So I started learning about me, more about me, who I am, what I am about, my likes, my dislikes, and more. In the midst of the introduction back to myself, I learned to love me, all of me, the good, the bad, and the ugly. In the midst of that, I've even learned how to correct some of the bad things, the ugly things about myself that I didn't like. I've learned to ask myself things that I would normally ask other people. If they came to me and talked to me, I would, um, in a church, if a pastor says, turn to your neighbor and say such and such and such and such, or question your neighbor, are you doing such and such? Then I would instead not turn to my neighbor, but I would turn inward and I would ask myself, Alita, are you doing what is right? Are you doing what this question is? And because I feel the need to make sure I am doing what I need to do before I can assist or help anyone else. So these are the kind of things that help me get back to me. These are the kind of things that I learned to build on when it came to learning me and who I am and what I'm about. These things also help me build character. Um, Also, like I said, I've learned to correct some of these bad things for the betterment of myself. In conclusion, my journey back to me helped me to learn how to love me. Again, I'll say it again. My journey back to me helped me to learn how to love me. This is important for anyone that is having trouble loving themselves or feeling insecure about themselves. This is important. When you get to a point of learning yourself, sometimes it takes a new environment. If you can't get to a new environment, in the environment that you're in, you should try new things. Open up, learn who you are. Once you learn who you are, if you don't like some of these things, the thing to do is start asking the right questions. Do I like this? If I don't like this, what do I do next? Is there something else I can replace it with? These are questions that will help you learn who you are. And once you learn who you are, if you find some dislikes, just take those dislikes and correct them. Make them better. Find out what you like instead of what you dislike. And go with those. Do them more. Encourage yourself first, but learn to love yourself. Learn yourself and love yourself. Thank you. Again, my name is Alletta Shepherd, and This is the song. Sorry. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. Thank you. Have a good day. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, for I know